Well, it's really good, YouTube. We're back at it again with continue talking about our predictions for the next Pokemon game with
All right,
Neon.
yeah, we're still here today, and we're picking right off where we're picking up right where we left off last time. We just finished with a Bombi, and now we're talking about Lycanroc. We're gonna start off with the midday Lycanroc, just because that's one I care more about.
Okay.
It all right. First of all, a Cell Rock, a priority Rock type move, just screams to me that that's amazing. Like the biggest thing about Lycanroc is, you know what? They could have made Lycanroc have one in every stat as long as it's allowed to breed a Cellrock to other Pokemon. If like Tyranitar or some other Pokemon can get a Cellrock, it's just gonna make the new meta for me. Like there's a lot of rock type Pokemon that would love this move. It would just help them. It would, like Terrakion. Terrakion viably runs Quick Attack, and that's disgusting. If I get a Cell Rock, its power would boost significantly. But back to Lycanroc itself, this was actually one of the first Pokemon while I was looking through all their stats that its stat distribution actually mimicked what it's meant to do. It has a 115 attack and a 112 speed. So it's quick and it hits hard, and that's what its moves are showing that it's meant to do. That's what its abilities are showing what it's meant to do. And that's what its stats are now showing what it's meant to do, which was finally, like, because the first few I saw, it was just really disappointing. They were always like, I'm going to foreshadow a little bit, Pyukumuku and Mimikyu. I have issues with those, but we'll get to that later. Yeah, I'm glad the stats are distributed great. It has a good move pool, and honestly, it's a pretty okay mon all around, and I think it has a chance at surviving in UU.
All right. I'll let him get everything for this one because I actually want to talk all about the next one because he does not like it.
Come on, like, it's bad.
It's good. Okay, so Lycanroc Midnight form is kind of like the same concept of hitting hard, but it prioritizes taking the hit so it can dish out even harder hit because its main thing is using counter, which is it's all right. They gave it to the one that most likely would probably be able to take a hit, which is probably the one thing that Lycanroc midday form wish it could do.
Yeah, it can't take a hit. If it's gonna die to like Drizzle.
They gave it No Guard, which is a pretty good ability. You'll never miss a Stone Edge. Let's see.
Oh shit, I didn't think about that. You're right. It won't miss a Stone Edge.
You're right, and it's probably very solid in many ways because to me it's just Lycanroc is more likely to be O code right away, and it's fine as long as you get a. It's more of a wrench killer. Well, this is more like I'm. This is kind of like the lead mon. It gets stealth rock. It could just take the hit and then dish out, and you would be done with it. It's essentially what I think it's going to be used for mainly as a lead. All right, and I would like to say I do like both forms for the design purposely.
All right, on to the. Oh, jeez. All right, take it again.
Okay, so Neon also doesn't like.
I will rant once you're done.
All right, Wishy Washy. Okay, imagine if they put Gohan in the game and he went Super Saiyan. That is what Wishy Washy is.
Man.
Straight up, you can't sleep on Gohan. Okay, so Wishy Washy ability is schooling, which allows other fish of the same, like a school of them, just to form one gigantic fish, and that's aesthetically that's really pleasing to the eye. Like it looks good. It's very menacing. It's beautiful at the same time. So it does a lot of things with such a simple idea. Its stats go crazy. I'm looking at 140 attack, 130 defense, 140 special attack, and 135 special defense. It doesn't have the greatest move pool, but it's a water type, so it's guaranteed like ice, water, the occasional dark type move. But aside from that, I don't know what else to expect. But I think I'm pretty sure this thing gets earthquake, so it will be hitting hard. If you can get a Bombweed to speed swap with this, it is a monster. You will need to watch out.
Yeah, that's all right. If you use this in a double battle and you speed swap with it, all right, good for you. Straight up, just sweep me with that in a double battle. I will allow that to happen. But in singles, I don't see much out of this Pokemon because yeah, those four stats you talked about, its attack, defense, special attack, special defense, they're really really high, and that's and like good for it. It hits hard, and it's actually kind of hard to hurt. Its speed is like legitimately lackluster. It's 30. Its HP is 45. And then the way schooling works more so is yeah, like it's this crazy like Super Saiyan Pokemon at the start of a battle. But once it gets below half HP, its stats drop to where its attack stat is 20, its defense is 20, its special attack is 25, and its special defense is 25. It is a extremely weak Pokemon once schooling is broken, which for some Pokemon won't be that hard to do. And like once again, I'm thinking this thing's only going to get off one super hard hit, like because it's slow. It's starting off in schooling form. It takes a hit from something, doesn't quite break schooling yet, and then it kills something. Then you send in a new Pokemon, dented even a little more. Even if you can't quite kill it, that's going to get dropped under half HP now. And then it's going to, go into this very, very weak form. It's going to have 20 or 25 attack stat in whichever one you're using, an attack or special. And it's not going to hit very hard back. And then it's going to proceed to be useless for the rest of the match. If schooling works to where you go back up to half HP, you school again, that's actually kind of cool, and I'll respect it more. So you can like run Citrus Berry or like leftovers on it and like proceed to continue getting back into that form sometimes, which I think would be kind of cool. But other than that, I have another issue with this Pokemon, and that is its move pool's only okay. And then like, it actually doesn't get like it does have ice type moves, which is like, okay, oh yeah, that's good. You have ice type moves. Water types really like when you get that because it can help you hit grass. But like, it would force you to run a special one if you want to do that. You could run mixed. I don't know. It's just the biggest downfall to me is how weak it gets once schooling breaks.
All right. I guess moving on from that one, we have next would be what's after Wishy-Washy actually.
Toxapex.
Toxapex. Okay, Neil wants to talk about this one.
This is honestly, this might be my single favorite Pokemon of all time now. First of all, right now I'm saying this is OU. If this is an OU, there's something that happened. Like I don't like either the meta changed completely. I think this is an OU Pokemon. Its stats are once again perfect for what it's trying to do. When you first look at its stats, it looks really, really lackluster with 50 HP, 63 attack, 53 special attack, and 35 speed. Those are by no means good stats. But you look at its defense and special defense, and they're 152 defense and 142 special defense. They're nowhere near at the level of like Shuckle, which Shuckle did prove that having really high defenses can make you a viable Pokemon. But the biggest thing about this is all the new things it gets. It has a new move called Baneful Bunker, which is protect like you're using a normal protect, but if the Pokemon makes contact with you, they're poisoned. Which, first of all, that's really good. That is very good. You just get to just poison things by protecting yourself and probably just stalling out some leftovers HP back. It has two insane abilities. Regenerator has always been one of the greatest abilities. If you look in the OU tier, Pokemon that don't look all that great but have Regenerator just thrive. Slowbro, Amoonguss, Tangrowth, they all have Regenerator, and that helps them so much. Regenerator is just a solid ability that when it's put on a Pokemon, they're almost never terrible. Mm-hmm. And then you look, it has a brand new ability called Merciless. If this Pokemon attacks Pokemon that's poisoned, the attack is automatically a crit. That on just a random Pokemon that being on there, like, okay, that's still kind of good. But with the fact that you have Baneful Bunker that will poison enemies just for trying to attack you, that makes Merciless better. The fact that this Pokemon gets Toxic Spikes and Toxic makes that ability better. And the fact that it also gets Venoshock, which is a special attacking move that its power doubles if the target is poisoned. You're going to have a 130 power poison type move that's going to crit every time. I don't care that your special attack is 53. That is going to hit super hard. Now, it's not going to break walls, but it's going to destroy any sweepers on the field. This Pokemon is by far one of like the best things that. All right, when coming into this, Mudsdale, because Toxapex wasn't leaked till very very recently. Mudsdale was like my favorite Pokemon from the gen, just by how it looked and everything. I liked it a lot. But Toxapex is by far taking the cake for me right now. It might be my favorite Pokemon of all time. And then the one more thing, this Pokemon counters a lot of OU threats. Look at Keldeo and look at Azumarill. What are they going to do to this? They cannot touch this Pokemon. They get absolutely walled by this thing. My one complaint to it is that never mind. No, this thing does get recover. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, this thing is it gets recover. This thing's a monster. You can't kill this thing. This is OU for sure.
All right. I can't say much more or add on to this. He took it all. Next we're talking about Mudsdale.
Hey, it's my other guy, Mudsdale,
which he referenced earlier. So go on again.
All right, so Mudsdale isn't going to be quite as good as Toxapex by any means. Quick one thing. If I could just edit this Pokemon really quickly, I would switch its defense stat with its special defense stat. So it currently has a 100 defense stat and a 85 special defense stat. If you swapped those, this Pokemon would just get significantly better just from that. Because the only real ability you're going to run on this is Stamina, which boosts its defense stat when it gets hit by an attack. So by giving your special defense a little bit higher, you're still easily going to be able to get your Stamina boosts and be super defensive anyway. So that's my one change I would make to it if I were Game Freak. Just trying to make things a little bit better for this Pokemon, because I like it a lot. I think its design is awesome. Mr. Jamvad in the house. But I do have another kind of complaint. Close combat that it gets. Close combat's a fun move, and when Pokemon learn close combat, that's awesome. But it doesn't need close combat just because it's a ground type. Close combat's what meant to hit ice, rock, steel. Ground hits rock and steel, and then ice it's not like resisted by any means. So like I would replace that for like a different move that could give you maybe some more type coverage. But other than that, it gets Heavy Slam, which with the fact that this thing weighs 2,000 pounds, Heavy Slam is going to be like max power like all the time. And then it does have Rock Slide, which helps it hit flying types. And then I'm just disappointed. Why is high horsepower a thing? Like, the animation is cool, don't get me wrong, but it's legit weaker and less accurate Earthquake. So my predictions for Mudsdale is I hope it's UU. I think it can survive in UU because there's not too many bulky ground types in OU right now. I mean, in UU.
Yeah, and it's a signature move too. Like, no other horse will get this. And it would have been much more beneficial towards other horses like Rapidash, but it's not getting this, so it's...
Yeah, exactly.
So they're introducing a move, yet that would have been better for other mons that don't get Earthquake, but Mudsdale does get Earthquake, so all it is just for show, and it won't even be viable. Aside from that, what I would ask Game Freak to do is take off its leg warmers, and it'd be a decent-looking mon.
I tried to defend this Pokemon when he brought up the leg warmers on his legs. He does look like a goof with those. I was like, oh, he's just trying to stay warm. But this is based in Hawaii, and he's not going to be cold. Yeah, he's making a mistake wearing those socks.
Yeah. And the final thing, since Neon actually said 2,000 pounds, yes, over.
Yeah, it's like 2,020 pounds, something like that.
Get grass knotted, fam. All right, next.
Oh, oh, gee. Oh, he's gonna get shit on by Grass Knot.
All right. After Mudsdale was Arachnid.
Or a Rockwarid or whatever. Like, it's just a play on words between Arachnid and Aqua because it's a water type. And you can start by taking this.
All right, cool. I feel like it's the next innovation of what's it gonna call it? Galvantula.
Yeah.
It has Sticky Web, and it has the good move, one of the greatest moves, Scald, and it has a very good move set. Like it's trying to also be a wall breaker at the same time, and it's probably not going to be as easy to take out as Galvantula. And it's got one of my favorite moves, Mirror Coat.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things I looked at. Like, this thing, because its special defense stat is super nice at a 132. You can just mirror coat something right back at somebody.
Wait, is it the right one? I might have said mirror move. I can't remember.
You said mirror coat.
All right. Did you check it real quick? I think it.
It does get mirror coat. I wrote that on my notes.
All right, cool. Yeah. It's just very very beneficial with the high special attack stat and Scald. It makes up for its low defense, and its abilities are alright. It's water bubble, which makes it resistant to fire, which was unnecessary because it was just neutral before, and now it's just resisted.
Well, that's actually kind of nice because Bug did give you
the weakness.
It removed your resistance to it, and now it's resisted again, I suppose, which is okay. But I like Water Absorb better just because you get a water immunity and you get to get free HP sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And aside from that, Water Bubble does prevent burns, but it's not the biggest deal towards this. It's not going to be hitting you with physical attacks. Well, I guess it could, but I'd rather use Skull, to be honest, than some other moves like Bug Buzz. Does it get one?
Yeah, it probably gets Bug Buzz.
If not, it doesn't really matter. Skull is honestly a good move for this set. It probably gets Ice Beam, as all water types do.
It does get Ice Beam, yeah.
And it does get benefits from the new Leech Life boost.
Yeah, because this thing actually has a higher attack stat, so it's completely viable to run a bunch of physical attacking moves and then Scald, just because Scald is so busted. So yeah, you could run the two new bug type moves, or Leech Life's not new, but it's completely buffed out of its mind. Mm-hmm. But the Leech Life is good now, and then the new move Lunge, which is a couple Pokemon are learning this. This is crazy. It's 80 power, 100% accuracy, and it lowers their attack stat, which is, once again, helping him make up for the fact that he doesn't quite have the best defense stat.
Mm-hmm. Aside from that, it does also get the other move, Liquidization. Could you explain?
Oh, yeah. Liquidation is an 85 power physical water type move, 100% accuracy, so it's slightly stronger than Waterfall. You don't have the chance to flinch, but you have a chance to drop their defense. But just the fact that it hits harder than Waterfall is kind of nice. So in case there's some calc where Waterfall won't kill something, you have Liquidation.
Mm-hmm. All right. Aside from that, anything else?
I don't really have anything else to say about that, I don't think. Oh, no, this thing I was thinking about earlier when I talked about Wishy-Washy. This thing's probably going to be more physical. And then it has ice type moves, but they're all special, so you can't really hit flying types with those. But other than that, I think this is going to be a really fun Pokemon to use in RU. That's where I think it's going to end up.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't mind whatever tier it brings up. It will be fun to use in a tier. I don't see it being... It will be countered no matter where it is, but I feel like it's going to be more fun than the cons of losing it.
Yep.
All right.
The next one... all right, Lurantis.
I'm not saying anything about this.
The only thing I'm saying is, why do you have Contrary?
Mm-hmm.
You have a 105 attack stat and no physical attacking moves that are going to benefit from Contrary. You have Leaf Storm, which is the ultimate Contrary move for the most part. But you're not going to be running Leaf Storm because you're obviously going to be it's a physical attacker. It's slow. It's a grass type, which isn't the best defensive typing at times. Just I don't know. I don't. We both aren't big fans of this because there's legitimately a Pokemon that is this but better, which we'll get to later. So do you have anything else to say about it?
No. We
All
we
right.
should mention Solar Blader. What was
Blade.
it?
Oh yeah, it gets Solar Blade, which is Solar Beam but physical. So
Mhm.
I guess it kind of has a niche to it, but
Okay, now it's Shinotek.
Genetic. It's a dumb looking mushroom. Oh man, I also don't have much to say about this thing. I legit have only one thing to say about this thing. It will die to Poison Sting,
Mhm.
and it has no good. It doesn't have a good move pool. Its move pool is not that good.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't even get Spore. All mushrooms get Spore. All right,
Actually, it does.
this thing's bad. It gets Spore.
Yeah,
Oh
level
shit!
40.
I see it right now. Yeah, never mind. Or at least it gets Spore. Okay. Now all right, I get maybe it can be a lower tier Spore. That's its hope.
Mhm.
That's all it has going for it.
Yeah, I blame the fairy. The fairy typing is good, but at the side with grass, it's only asking for poison attacks only. Um, Aside from that, it's not really pleasing aesthetically. The eyes look dead. It doesn't look like it'll be very beneficial. It looks like looking for judging for the moveset, it looks like a very self-sustaining, stabilizing mon. I don't really see it being a powerhouse of any way. Um, Aside from that, yo, this thing goes to sleep every night knowing it gets shit on by Sludge Bomb.
Like, do you see how dark and soulless its eyes are? Like, there's a reason for that. It's living in fear. It's waiting for that sludge bomb.
Oh, and it learns Sludge Bomb, which is even worse.
Oh, that's so ironic.
Alright. What was after Shintokic?
Mama Salandit, Salazzle.
Salazzle.
That's you can definitely start with this one.
Alright. Salazzle is very, like, it's not what others people thought it was. They described it as a weak Pokemon, and everyone thought that was going to be weak offensively, and it was going to play off gimmicks. But it actually turned out to be a Glass House cannon, and I do see it being a wall breaker in some methods. It does have a weird move pool of Dragon, Poison, Dark, and Fire. It is very offensive based, and I do see it being a revenge killer, a really good one. It has a crazy 117 speed, which is very reliable, and 111 is nothing to joke about under the right situation. Aside from that, corrosion is just, I think that was the icing on the cake. You can poison steel types for once and poison types. The only thing I would have asked for more is for poison moves like Sludge Bomb 2 would have done damage or being able to poison a steel type. Like, I could care less if it doesn't do damage, but if someone switches in on me and I use Sludge Bomb, it'll at least be able to have a chance of poisoning. Aside from that, I like the design. All male Salandits won't evolve into this, sadly, but I don't really mind. It's like Salandit's still good in its own way. Combee is the real disappointment, but aside from that, really like the design. I'm really happy.
Yeah, I actually don't really have much more to say about that because I liked the way its stats were distributed. It's really good in my opinion. It has a good move pool. Corrosion's a good ability. Yeah, just it should be a pretty decent mon all around. I hope it finds a place in UU because
I definitely don't see
um,
this in PU.
oh no way. If this thing finds a way in UU, you know what it's gonna do? It's gonna crap all over Mega Aggron.
I
It's
wanted
gonna
to shit on Skarmory.
oh Skarmory's not gonna like this thing. This thing's gonna it might have some niche in OU too.
Alright.
All right, next we have
Beware.
another Pokemon we're both not too excited about. Again, we kind of have or a good amount of Pokemon we share opinions on. Then there's a couple that you've seen we don't quite share opinions on. All right, we are not big fans of Beware. When they first showed Beware, I was like, oh my gosh, this cuddly little thing. And then when it used Hammer Arm on Pangoro and just sent it into an oblivion, I thought that was awesome. I was like, oh, this thing's going to be crazy. But it turns out it is actually just Pangoro Part 2, which is why Pangoro was probably in its trailer. This thing disappointed me a lot. Like I said, I see no reason to use this over Pangoro other than the fact that it's slightly bulkier, but Pangoro gets better moves at points. I feel Pangoro's move pool can be better. Yeah, just I don't really. It has a kind of redeeming quality in Fluffy, which makes it bulky because it has a 120 HP and then only an 80 defense. But Fluffy halves the damage of all moves that make direct contact, so which can significantly make this thing bulkier. But it does give it a fire weakness, which is kind of strange, and I don't really see why they had to do that. It could just give it a fur coat, but yeah, Paco, you can take the rest of it.
I really didn't like this even when they first showed it off. It was just, it's not bear to me at all. Bears that look like menacing creatures, and the only thing this has to prove it's menacing is its height, because they use this technique in filming. When you want to show something that's opposing, like something that's higher than you, they make it taller in the viewpoint. But aside from this, it's just another bear, honestly, and I don't like any of its abilities. I don't like Fluffy. I don't like Klutz. I don't like Unnerve. Um, I don't know. That's all I kind of have to say. I don't have much of an opinion. I just didn't like it at all from the beginning, so it stayed neutral throughout the whole thing.
All right. And next, we have what we talked about earlier, the better version of Lurantis.
Mhm.
Okay, so Lurantis had what, a 105 or yeah, a 105 attack stat. Obviously, it had to be an attacker, a physical attacker, because just didn't really show much potential anywhere else. But this is one. It's called Serena. I'm assuming the T is silent in front of it. It has a 120 attack stat. Decent defenses in 98 defense, 98 SPDF, 72 HP, and has a okay 72 speed. And then it's a grass type, and it has some pretty is a good move pool, a good ability, and then a new move called Trop Kick. It's like Lunge, but Lunge is a bug type move, and Trop Kick is a grass type move that it does the same thing. It attacks and it lowers the target's attack stat. It is 10 power lower than Lunge, but that's alright, I guess. There aren't too many physical grass type moves that this thing would probably be able to learn just by its design. Queen Majesty is its ability, which makes priority moves not be able to be used while this is in battle. Yeah. No, only the opponent can't use priority moves, even though I don't think this thing really learns too many priority moves. But another thing is it's the move pool that kind of gets me. I think it's really, really good move pool. One, it gets Rapid Spin, and Rapid Spin's always good. You like a lot of teams when you're building competitively, you always have to look for a way to get rid of hazards. So this thing gets Rapid Spin, so it could be an option. And then it gets like I'm calling it a trifecta. It's not like an actual trifecta, but this thing gets Play Rough, High Jump Kick, and U-turn, which I think it's a really good type coverage. It can blow through everything except poison. Like none of those moves, including Trop Kick, all four of those moves aren't gonna touch a poison type at all. But U-turn's a good move, High Jump Kick's a good move, Play Rough is a good move. So I don't know. I actually like this Pokemon a lot. And if there's ever been like a thick Pokemon out there, I'm sorry, it's Serena.
Alright, that's pretty much all filled in for me. I just like the moveset more better, and it's got better stats. Then next after that was Comfey.
Yeah, you can take Comfey. I don't know. I just think it's like Klefki, but not Klefki.
It definitely does have the Klefki ish to it. It has the same kind of like shape, circular, and it's like an object.
Has the same kind of ability.
Yeah, it's like the same concept, except not as much as a prankster, more of a dedicated healer, and it has the moves for it. It honestly does, and it for some reason it's kind of like a hybrid between Whimsicott and Klefki.
No, I agree with that. That's it. Design does look like it looks like a baby Whimsicott, like the little face.
Mm-hmm. It has an interesting concept. I'm wondering whether Tri-Age, which makes any move that heals, go first, and I wonder if that would work for Leech Seed or Draining Kiss. But aside from that, I don't know. I'm not a fan of making a mon just dedicate to supporting in HP. I like supporting in like the other mons like through damage or defensively. I'm not. I don't know. You're gonna lose HP more likely than gain from this. But if you can make it work, props to you.
All right, then to the next one. All right, it's the two their version exclusives, like the two monkey Pokemon, Oranguru and Passimian. We're gonna start with Oranguru, and then so my opinions on Oranguru are so it is. I was gonna say it is a first of all it's meant for doubles. All right, it's not meant for singles whatsoever. But in double battles, this thing is so good. Like it doesn't have crazy stats or anything. They made it bulky, which is smart. I'm glad they did that. Because it has telepathy, which allows your allied Pokemon next to it to use a spread move without it getting hurt by it. So that's great. But the icing on the cake is just the move it knows, Instruct. Instruct is absurd in my opinion. What Instruct does is it makes a Pokemon do what it just did again. So let's say you're in a double battle and you have a Tyranitar or whatever. You have a Tyranitar and it uses Stone Edge and it KOs you KO whatever Pokemon you were trying to kill. And then when it's Oranguru's turn to attack, it uses Instruct, and then instead Tyranitar just Stone Edges the other Pokemon, which it's just you can just nonstop, just repeatedly have your super strong Pokemon attack twice, and that's so good. I don't really, and it's not just that, it gets really good moves too. To go off other niches, like it gets both the screens, it gets Trick Room, it gets a very very wide array of moves along with just its really really good move of Instruct.
I do like the concept of this one. It's very interesting to see a Pokemon that really supports and in its own way kind of like I feel like it's a very elaborate kind of Pokemon.
The way he slaps around his leaves is also cute. Like, or it's cute just the way he does it. But think about if you're the enemy Pokemon, he just hits you in the face with a leaf. Like, it's like a leaf like fan.
Mm-hmm.
He's just sitting there on his ass, and he just slaps you across the face.
Yeah, in a way, they could make this a jerk Pokemon in the anime, but aside from that, that's not what like we're here for. Next is I can't say this one.
Passimian.
Passimian. It's my favorite of the two, but unfortunately, I'm not getting it because I'm picking Moon.
Yeah, I'm picking Moon also.
Yeah. It's very opposite actually. It's more like I will carry the team when everyone else fails. So the ability is Receiver. So if say you have a freaking I can turn Vigavolt with the Levitate, you gain Levitate just from it fainting in front of you, and then this thing possesses now Levitate, and I think it loses that ability once say they drop another mon and that one faints. You're no longer able to gain that ability because you're stuck with Levitate because it's no longer Receiver was your ability. That's what changed it. Now you're stuck with Levitate. And I feel like this opens many doors for Passimian. You can honestly just, if this thing gets close combat and you get Contrary onto this, that's crazy.
Oh man.
Aside from that, I see the same stats as Sock, so I do see this somewhere in the RU tier. And since it's going to be on Showdown, I don't see it very much unless it's doubles. But aside from that, I do see this VGC potential. I see very much in it. Aside from that, it's pretty alright.
Yeah, there was one thing I did have to say. It does actually have a little bit of singles potential just because its hidden ability is Defiant, which if you predict them bringing in an Intimidate mon, you get an attack boost. If they get hacks on you and drop your special defense with using Psychic, and you live the hit somehow, you have an attack boost, 2 attack boosts for that matter. So like, yeah, this is like it has some potential. for the most part, both the two monkeys are meant for doubles.
All right, next. I don't know which between us two do you want to go first.
All right. I'll start with the man who hit the gym. All right. His name's actually hard for me to pronounce too. Golskapad probably.
Yeah, there's an I you missed, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, Golskapad, whatever. My first point on my notes is actually leg day.
Leg day.
But yeah, when I first saw the design of the Pokemon, I'm like, this thing is a monster. It got bullied for long enough, and you know what? It just decided not to. The thing my favorite part about this whole thing is just not the ability. Not that the ability is good. It's that how the ability name changes. When it's a Wimpod, it's called Wimp Out. But when it's this Pokemon, it's called Emergency Exit. So like it's making it seem so that it's not a wimp because it just hit the gym and got buff, but it's still smart. It knows what's up. It knows if it's in danger, it's gonna dip. But yeah, it has a really good defense stat at 140. It's a 125 attack stat, and it's not sleeping on its other defense. Like 90 is not awful SPDF, and 75 is not a horrible HP. It's kind of slow. It has bad special attack, but it's not going to be attacking specially anyway. It gets a really, really, really good move pool. It has Sucker Punch to make up for its lack of speed, which would have been better if Sucker Punch wasn't nerfed. But yeah, that's that. I think one more thing I had to say about it, I think, is just where I think it's going to be. I'm assuming this is going to end up in UU. I don't think it's OU just yet. I don't know. I could be proven wrong pretty easily. Like it could end up in OU, but I think it's going to be a UU mon for the most part, and I think it's not just going to be a UU mon. I think it's going to be pretty dominant in the tier.
Mm-hmm. I do think it is a good mon. I do like the stats. I wouldn't complain about it much. The only thing I just don't like as much is the ability, but it's stuck with it. It's the only ability it gets. This can't be trash because honestly, spoilers, Guzma's going to be using this in the game. This is part of his team, and I do see this being very tricky to play around because I think the other mon he has is Ariadon or the what's that spider? Ariados?
Ariaquidid or something like that.
All right, and I do see him kind of slowly whittling you down while this one just finishes the job. I think that's what the concept was for this mon.
Oh, I actually have one more thing to say. Its ability gets called First Impression. I really, I don't know why it has 90 power, so it's not much stronger than the other bug type moves that they've been releasing, like Leech Life and Lunge. But it has 10 more power. So like, okay, yeah, you got more power. That's good, but you can only use it the first time you're in battle. Or the only thing I see about that is because you use First Impression, you get hit to half HP and then you dip. So like maybe that's what it's supposed to be. But I don't know. Other than that, I wish you could just use it more often. Like it wasn't just the first time you're in battle, or if it was the first time you're in battle, like it had a higher base stat.
Mm-hmm. Aside from that, Lunge is going to be the more viable, I think, I assume.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, lowers your attack, and you're more likely to live a hit and stay in. Alright, that is all we got for right now. Any words, Neon?
I did warn you guys last time. I did praise a lot, and I did shit on a lot, so what am I thinking for the next upcoming ones? It's more actually Paco's going to be talking more because once again there's one I really like, but for the rest of that I don't like them too much going on here. Actually never mind. It's split 50-50.
All right.
I just keep looking down. In the very beginning of next video, watch out. I'm going to be mad.
All right. That's all. Bye.